Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Comic Book Geezers. Welcome to another episode of the show. We've got back on the Geezers once again. It's been a little while. It's been a little while for me too, it seems. But Scott Berry is here.
Has
Also,
been a
you know
while.
him from Sea of Tranquility, and he's a big comic book guy, just like we are here. And Scott's been doing some shopping, and I asked him if he'd come on and show some of the cool things he's picked up lately. So everybody
Yeah.
loves our new pickup episode, new pickups episodes, new acquisitions, whatever we want to call it. And these are always fun to kind of see what's new in our collection. So Scott's going to show off his new wares today. So what do you got? I'm looking forward to seeing these.
Well, if it does seem like I have a lot today, just bear in mind it's been a few months since I've been on. So, it, or Pete just hasn't been doing any shows at all, or a very small number lately. So
Yeah,
I'm glad
it's
you're
just been
back
a
on.
crazy summer. So much going on.
Yeah, I
And,
get it,
and
man.
yeah, it's hard to find the time just for normal stuff. And then just with the to running two YouTube channels has been really difficult of late. And to see a Tranquility one, it obviously is a big beast and that there's a lot going on with that. So I just
Right.
between that and stuff going on with my dad and work and it's just been crazy. Family stuff. It's just so yeah, but
Yeah.
we hope to get back on track a little bit. In fact, I'm hoping to get together with Bill this weekend, like on Sunday. So
Oh,
for
that'd be
everybody
awesome.
watching, the band should be getting back together very, very soon. So
Very cool. Well, starting off, you and I, we both big Avengers fans. I know that, and I know you. Yeah, it seems like we're kind of like going neck and neck on Avengers buying lately. This I just bought a few months back. That is now my earliest issue of Avengers, number
oh,
12.
really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I know you've got a couple that are before this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I remember you had the first Wonder Man. I remember seeing that one, but it's in pretty decent shape. Got it from Com yeah, Lone
My
Star
com
Comics,
my com oh,
my comic shop. Yeah, they're also known as Lone Star
Lone
Comics.
Star, yeah.
I started calling them Lone Star Comics, but they don't
It's
really.
weird how they don't really
Yeah.
like market that name all that much,
Mhm.
which is kind of weird, because
Well, that was what they called their physical stores.
yeah, yeah.
I used to shop at their physical stores up when I lived up in the Dallas area. But yeah, also got
Ah, you finally got that.
finally that the
Yeah.
Thor 165, which completes a long run of Thor for me. So that
Yeah,
goes.
those stores are so good.
And
And,
it's a great issue to have,
it is. I mean, that early Adam Warlock stuff is just so good.
Oh yeah. And yeah, it didn't break the bank either, thank goodness.
That's
I
good.
think they've come down a little bit from where they were. They had really spiked pretty high for a while there, so but it seems like they've kind of leveling off a little bit.
And I don't even remember like how much I paid for that because I got that about like maybe 3, 4 years ago,
Mhm.
and it was pricey, but
They were
like,
spiking then, yeah,
yeah, not
probably.
hundreds of dollars pricey, right?
Well, if you're going to go into higher grades, sure,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I bought. I think
Even
mine's like a three, maybe something like that.
yeah, that's about what this is.
Yeah,
Also getting close to finishing off my Nick Fury
nice.
Strange Tales run,
Yep.
number 138. And that is a John Severin
Yeah.
cover.
Yep.
Yeah. Kind of doesn't quite get enough credit sometimes.
Good artist. Yeah.
He's one of Marvel's great artists of the Silver and early Bronze Age, and did a lot of great stuff for the brother of Marie Severin,
Yep.
another one of Marvel's great artists.
Oh yeah.
Um, Amazing Adventures. Been diving into this one lately. I mean, I've had other Amazing Adventures issues, but this is only my second one with the Beast. And so
So that was I bought that off the stand back whatever year that was, 72, 73, something like that.
about that,
And
yeah.
my copy is like really beat to shit. And I was actually looking at that online the other day, thinking that I probably should upgrade that because I need a couple more of those Beast issues and Amazing Adventures. I think like maybe two of them because I have the one with Juggernaut. I have
I had that one a long time ago.
that's a good one.
When I
Yeah.
was a kid, I had it, but yeah, all the I don't have any of the comics I had when I was a kid anymore.
Those are good. I mean, that's when he first became the Beast as we know him now, right? So
Right.
yeah, real
Before he
well.
joined the Avengers. And then I've been adding to my earlier issues of Fantastic Four. Got
Nice.
number 37 here. Behold a Distant Star, and the scrolls come out in this one. Actually, this is the first trip the Fantastic Four made to the Scroll homeworld. Uh, and then number 51, This Man, This Monster.
That's a good one. I go back and forth, but I sometimes think that Kirby's run on those Fantastic Fours might be the best stuff of his career.
I, yeah, there was something about those particular books that, I mean, well, they are just doing so much with that title. I mean, it was their first one that Stan and Jack had done together and
Yeah.
kind of launched the whole Marvel universe. But they introduced so many just iconic characters within that series. I mean, villains and just characters that would go on to get
Seems
their
like
own
every month, right? Yeah.
books. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, Doctor Doom, Silver Surfer, Galactus, the Watcher,
Nihilus, right?
was yeah, Annihilus, the Skrulls, you name it. You could
Goes on and
go
on.
on for 20 minutes talking about easily. Uh, got number 53. Now,
Nice.
I 52 is the first Black Panther, and that one's a little out of my
Yeah,
range.
that's pricey. That's
But
pricey.
this is the second one, and it is actually also the first appearance of Claw, another classic villain that
Yeah,
is
and basically the main Black Panther villain for quite a few years, right? Yeah.
exactly, and even made an appearance in the Black Panther movie.
Yep.
Um, and another one that I guess I would call this a key. Well, it's definitely a key. It's
I
Marvel
need that.
Superheroes, number 12.
Yeah, I need that. I think what was there? Were there two or three Marvel superheroes with Captain Marvel? Two, right?
Two.
Two. Yeah, I need both of those because I have
The
all the
other one.
Captain Marvels. There you go. Yep.
And
And they're both doable. They're not that
they
pricey.
are now. Again, I think it's kind of like with the Adam Warlock Thor issue. A few years ago they were really going for a lot higher prices, and I mean they seem to have come down a bit because I couldn't find anything affordable like 3, 4, 5 years ago. But yeah, and these are I think they're both like fours,
They
pretty
look.
decent shape. And this one has the first appearance of Carol Danvers, who goes on to be Ms. Marvel and
Marvel.
later Captain Marvel.
I
Uh,
still like that first Captain Marvel suit quite a bit. It's kind of like old looking, dated looking.
it looks like something out of the 50s, kind of,
It does, but there's a charm to it that I always really, really
Yeah.
like. I mean, I like the other costume a lot too, but there's something about that first one that I always really, really dug.
Oh,
Oh, look who's there.
Billy's here.
Yep.
Okay. I also got a few astonishing tales with
Oh, great.
Kazar and Doctor Doom.
To Doom. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, taking on Craven the Hunter in this issue. Uh, another one, number 3. And let's see. No, that's not it. Uh, Number 5. This is the one, Red Skull.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
They meet again in supervillain team up years later.
They do.
Um, and number 7. And Black Panther makes an appearance in the Doctor Doom story. And then it just went to straight Kazar.
For a while. Yeah.
He dominated the book, had it to himself for a while. And then later on, they had Deathlock.
Yep.
Deathlock. So it was again, that's like the Living Colossus.
Yep.
Colossus. Yeah. Number 11. And yeah, that's definitely a Gil Kane cover.
Oh, for sure. You could tell Gil a mile away.
Yeah. Gil had a thing about nostrils. I don't know what it was, but I like Gil Kane. I'm not knocking him, but yeah, that is definitely one of his trademarks.
I think so many of those great Marvel artists from that era they all had that little signature thing that they did.
Yeah.
It's like Frank Robbins had the weird,
Oh my God.
bending of the appendages, right? You
Like
had
they're made
curvy
of rubber or
little
something. Yeah.
squiggly lines, and yeah, they all had something that they specialized in, or whether it was good, bad, or ugly, whatever. But
Yeah. Uh, and then number 14, I love a good dinosaur cover.
oh yeah, yeah, Marvel's answer to Tarzan, pretty much, right?
I would say that, yes, definitely. Although Marvel did do Tarzan for a while as
Oh,
well. DC had the license and then Marvel got it as soon as they lost it.
yeah, I've been long considering getting some of those Marvel Tarzan issues, especially like the early ones.
I got a few. Yeah, I
Are they
got like
good?
like the first 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah, they're worth
And I've got
getting.
all the DC ones. Yeah, Joe Kubert did most of the DC ones.
Decent ones, yeah.
He did an awesome job on that. Perfect artist for that. And then here's number 15. And yeah, another great Gil Kane cover.
Yep. Moving right along.
Uh, Now these two are upgrades. I've owned both of these for a while, but I got some nicer
Chips.
copies. The ones I had before were probably threes. These are more like sixes or sevens. Captain Marvel,
Yeah, that's mandatory stuff right
32.
there. The whole Jim Starlin run is just great.
Jim Starlin, yes, absolutely. I mean, like how cool is that cover?
Yeah,
And then as good as that one is, I think this one may be my favorite as
yeah.
far as covers go.
Those two and the one where he's on the front, I forget the number with all the Avengers behind him. That also is great too.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's maybe 30, 31. It's
Yeah, I
just
think
a few
31.
issues
Yeah, I think
before
you're right.
these.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, I remember this one I had as a kid, and I remember just buying that off the spinner rack and just like I didn't even know who the hell Captain Marvel was, but it just like
You had to
this.
have it, right? Yeah.
Oh, I gotta have it. Yeah. And that's their ultimate battle there.
Yeah, it's amazing how he was such a good fit, and I think he came to that series at the right time. And then when they brought back Warlock a few years later, he was the right guy to fall into that one as well. Because to me, I think
Absolutely.
Warlock and the Captain Marvel books were like kind of similar in a way, and he was the man for the job in both cases.
Completely agree. Um, Also got this is one I'd been kind of hunting for a little bit, and I got a good deal on it over at my local comic
Oh,
shop.
there you go. Yep.
Inhumans #1, and that's a Gil King cover, but the interior art is George Perez, one of his early.
I always loved the
I think
Inhumans.
this is even before his, well,
It's a shame it
I
never
think
moved.
this was right be, or maybe around the same time that he was doing Avengers. I'm not sure,
I
but
think so, right? That's
he was the team guy.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you need somebody to draw a team, a lot of characters, a lot of superheroes, a lot of supervillains. He's your man, It's
Yeah.
just he rose to the challenge.
And not every artist is
And
cut
number
out to do
three,
that sort of thing.
oh, absolutely, I agree with that. Um, I got number three. Still need to get number two. This is another one I had as a kid, and I just remember thinking this guy looked cool at the time, Shatterstar,
Yeah.
but he never really landed. I just
One
didn't
of those like
become a
one and
major
done villains, right?
major fan.
Never to be seen
Yeah,
from
sometimes
again.
even if they look cool, it's just I don't know for whatever reason they don't catch on.
Yeah.
Um, Also got a Monsters on the Prowl, one of the
That's
classic
great. Yeah, I love
horror
it.
series.
Those are so good. I love
I
those.
love the names that they would give to some of these. Gomdullah, the Living
Dula.
Pharaoh. Gomdullah. I got another Creatures on the Loose.
That one's good too. That's yeah,
Uh,
it's a good one.
Gulliver Jones series with the with a great Gil Kane cover. I love that creature.
Oh, it's
It's,
awesome. Yeah, he
he was
did very
great at
good
drawing
creatures too.
monsters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh, added a few more Doctor Stranges to my collection. This is a really cool one with the man
Yeah.
thing.
Yep. Love the Man Thing character.
Layton and Jansen, Bob Layton and Klaus Jansen. And here's number 43, Michael Golden cover on that one. Moving over to the other side of the street, the distinguished competition. I got the Joker, number one. Got this at a con.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one I've been looking for a little while. I mean, it was a weird series, kind of, but I kind of liked it at the time. I remember liking it as a kid, but I don't know if it's aged all that well, but it's still a cool one to have.
It's amazing how the tone of the Joker character changed so much over the years, right?
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I also got an old Flash number 151,
Oh, wow,
12
nice.
issue. And this is a classic Golden Age villain, nemesis of Golden Age Flash, the
Yep.
Shade.
The Shade. Wow, okay. So
Yeah,
that's
I
what
think that's
is
probably
that a 15 center, Scott?
that is a 12.
12
So
center.
it's
Wow,
I don't
that's
know.
old.
It's probably about 1966,
I was gonna say
something.
65. Yeah, that's probably 65,
Could
66.
even be 65. I didn't make a note of the year, but it's somewhere in there. Um, got a Justice League of America, number 34. I
Wow.
think this one's about it's either 63 or 64. It's pretty early. I don't have very many Marvels from that era. And we got the Joker.
There you go. Look at that. Nice.
I think he made a lot of Justice League appearances. Um, now the Justice League, this is the very first appearance of Red Tornado.
Wow.
And he makes his first appearance not with the Justice League, but if you notice the characters on the cover, they're not the Justice League, they're the Justice
Society. Yeah.
Society.
Yep.
And one more Justice League, one that features Hawk Girl. Always like Hawkman and Hawk Girl.
Yeah.
Thought they were kind of underutilized. And that is a Joe
Green
Q.
Lantern and Green Arrow down there too, as well, looks
You
like.
got Green Arrow, you got Green Lantern, Batman, Superman, obviously. Um, yeah, that's everybody. And Hawkman has been turned to salt. Bummer.
Yeah, that would
Okay.
suck.
Uh, also got a few horror DC titles from the DCs. Got a few issues of Ghosts. Always like these covers.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And yeah, Nick Cardy did most of these, I believe. That was number 18. This is number 24.
Nice.
Number 28. And these I got at my local comic shop. They
Gotcha.
had annual Labor Day sale.
Yeah, you see these out at the shops quite a bit. The kind of like mid-period DC horror stuff. The Marvels sometimes don't pop up that often, but I see more of the DCs than I do the Marvels.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. And there's number 31. Still only 20 cents.
Still.
When I started buying comics, or when I started buying superhero comics, it was Marvels were a quarter, but DCs were still only 20 cents. So I always remember it.
It's like
Um,
we're keeping this price for you. They're still only
yeah. Well, I mean, it was probably about, they probably kept it about 6 months longer than Marvel did, you know. Eventually they had to jack up the price too.
Yeah.
Uh, Number 32.
Uh,
And number 33.
that's awesome. Hangman of Scepter Island. Great cover.
I love these covers. And I also got a Witching Hour, number 31. And The Unexpected.
Nice.
And of course, I've been working on my magazines, the creepies and the eerie's. So I managed to
Absolutely.
get a few more of those. 23, got a few early ones. Number
Oh,
20.
nice. Look at that. Yeah, I don't have that one. That's very cool.
Yeah. Some of these are the ones that I'm missing, and I think I got maybe about 20 creepies and about 6 eerie's to go. That's about what I got left.
That's good.
And it's
Wow.
it's either on the very low end or the very high end. I mean, as far as, the issue numbers. Um, Erie number 17, apparently that one was very, had a very low print run on it or something. I don't know,
That's
but that
fun.
one apparently is hard to find. Um, Creepy number 24.
I tell you, the cover art on these are always just so
Oh,
good.
they are awesome. And I got a special Christmas issue, number 25. And this is a pretty cool one. I think this might have doubled as a Famous Monsters cover.
Yes,
Basil Gagos.
absolutely did. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, number 26.
Yeah, it's the old Lon Chaney, London After Midnight.
Yes, yes. Good recall on that. Yeah. Early vampire film.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
and then we skip forward quite a bit. Number 107, like I said, it's either on the high end or the low. Uh, Number 117,
Oh yeah.
A Beast.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but that looks like a Ken Kelly.
It does. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Uh, Number 120.
Oh yeah. Those are in really good condition. That's the thing. You can find these out there in the wild, like really, really.
I'll say some are better than others, but yeah, for the most part, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, a lot of times there's some that, I'm lucky to find them in any condition. Um, Especially you get down to a lot of those Frazetta covers,
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure.
they're much sought after. It's 122.
Awesome.
I'm not sure who did that one. And 124. 128. Now this one I think is maybe this has a recycled cover. There was one that it was also used for one of the earlier issues. I think maybe around number 10 or 11 or 12, somewhere around
Really
there.
early, yeah. It's funny
But
when they
that
change the logo too. It's not quite as creepy looking.
didn't like that logo too much, I have to agree. Yeah. But they did eventually change it back, or
Yeah.
not too long before they ended up canceling it, I think. But that is a Frazetta cover, though.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I almost can't blame them for recycling a
Well,
Frazetta cover.
got to use what works, right, and what sells. So
Yeah, exactly. And here is another one. One of the few that's not painted, and this is getting toward the end of the run, number 139. And see, they're back to the old logo here.
yeah, yeah.
That is a pretty cool creature, though. It says art of Alex Toth, but that does not look like Alex Toth's artwork to me.
I don't know. It's well done regardless, but yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Scott Erie too. Number 13. One of the few uh, creepies or Eries where I've actually seen a word balloon on the cover.
Yeah, they don't do that on those covers at all, which
Well,
I
they're
think
better
is for
off
the
not doing
better. Yeah.
them. Yeah,
I don't think they need them.
yeah, exactly. It does. It just kind of takes something away, actually. Um, and I finally got this is one I've been trying to find. Erie number 51.
That's the gyro.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess this is kind of like what they consider like sort of an anniversary issue. They did a kind of a similar cover, but also for Creepy and for Vampirella, where they had like the main characters just kind of painted image in the center with the covers all around them, kind of thing. And I had the other two. This was the hardest one to find.
Not anymore.
Yep, check that off. Erie number was this 106? R. John's Nuclear Hit Parade. I would say this is probably not one of their better covers. I mean,
No. Not
I
really.
tend to like it more when they do the painted covers
Yeah.
mostly, but 110. Some of the later ones I noticed they did a few more like not as much like a horror kind of
They did a
look.
lot more
Some of them
sci-fi
had a little
stuff.
sci-fi kind of thing
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
Yeah.
116. That's a pretty cool painted one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know who this is. Number 126. That is a Richard Corbin cover.
That's nicely done.
Yeah, he had a very distinctive style. Did a lot of work for heavy metal. Yeah, many of those.
No, no.
I've
I,
got
you
some.
know, and other than like the Marvel magazines, I never really collected much of the other ones back in the day. I've only been starting to get some of like the eerie and the creepy and the Vampirella and other things like much, much later on. But I had like
Right.
a whole stack of the Marvel ones for many, many years. So it's like I'm kind of new to some of the other ones. Yeah. I mean, with heavy metal, there's so many of those. I mean, and the magazines take up twice as much room. So I'm like,
Oh, they are. They do. And
I mean, I know it's funny because
library.
I said to Kirk like a couple of years ago, I said, I said I really want to start collecting these creepy and eerie's, but I keep holding off because I know once I start, I won't be able to stop. And now I've got tons of them, and I'm like, oh, I'm already like, where am I going to put all these things? So yeah, I have like held out on the heavy metal stuff because I know once I get that first one, I'm done, and
Yeah, I
I'll
totally
go
get it.
nonstop.
And that I that's still going on today, I
Yeah, I
believe.
know. Yeah,
Um, but I do have some of the early ones. But yeah, it's no, but by no means a complete collection, and I'm not really looking to make it one right now, anyway. Yeah, just thought I'd share these. These are some trade paperback reprints that I got. These are of the old EC reprints of the old EC
oh wow, okay,
books.
that's old stuff. Yeah, yeah.
This was the stuff. This was what the creepy and eerie and House of Mystery, House of Secrets, Creep Show. I mean, it all starts here, man.
Yeah,
This inspired all of that. I also got a Tales from the Crypt. Also
there you
inspired that series, if not flagrantly ripped it off.
go.
But those were always fun to watch. I like those.
Yeah, I mean anybody who likes the horror comics, that you got to start from the beginning at some point, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it holds up well. These books were kind of controversial in their day. I mean, they were kind of responsible for starting the comics code. There was such a reaction from like conservatives, church groups, that oh, it's corrupting our youth, and they actually had Senate hearings, which kind of led to the formation of the comics code.
Got it. Had to have started somewhere, right? There you have it.
But yeah, I mean, they cited other things, but most of it was these right here, the EC horror comics. Um, Also, one that I like uh, recently, and I think I might have talked about him a little bit, Ed Brubaker, who he's done some work for Marvel. He did Captain America, like the whole Winter Soldier storyline. He did that, did some Daredevil, but he does a lot of crime themed comics. And he started doing like single issues, miniseries, that kind of thing. But nowadays he just goes straight. He goes straight for the whole. He'll just put the whole volume together, just one thick volume, and you can read the whole story.
It's only released that in that format. Okay.
Right. And well, and I think, it's just he and the guy that works, the artist that works with him, Sean Phillips, they're established enough now that I think people just like they just get whatever, they'll plunk the money down for this, because they know it's going to be good. And and the artwork is great in this.
And what's that, like a 30 or $40 volume, Scott?
25,
25? That's pretty good.
25. Not too bad. But just really, really well written. Like most of them are very crime themed
Okay.
things. Where the body where the body was, and this one's called Houses of the Unholy.
Holy, yeah.
And this was about the main character. She had been in a cult as a young kid. This is kind of repercussions of that later in life, and I don't want to spoil the whole thing for you, but anyway, it's a pretty cool story. Uh, Another one I've liked for years, and this isn't superhero, but DC does put it out, and you probably heard of it, Hellblazer.
Yep.
Yeah, this one is it's a limited series that's out right now. It's called Hellblazer: Dead in America, and these I think are a great read. I think if you like horror comics, you might enjoy these.
Yeah, I mean, all those John Constantine stories, whether, the older ones, even the more recent ones, are just good if you like that supernatural stuff. Yeah, just a really cool, complex character he is.
Right. I mean, he's kind of like Doctor Strange, but without the
Sort of, yeah.
without the costume. Well, I mean, he dabbles in black magic, but he's a little sketchy.
He's like Doctor Strange with lots of vices and faults, right? Basically.
Absolutely, just tons. I mean, ultimately, he does good, but you know, a lot. If you're a friend of his, you might not last too long.
Right, right.
His friends don't tend to fare too well. Um, and another one I've enjoyed recently. Well, this has been out for several years now. Saga,
Yeah.
which is kind of a sci-fi theme story about a family that's made up of the husband of one is from one planet, the wife is from another planet, and they're at war with each other. The planets are at war with each other, so they're constantly like on the run. So that's basically the premise of Saga, and there's always people trying to kill them. But it's a pretty cool book. I highly recommend it. But that's pretty much what I've been looking at the last few months.
Cool. We got some good stuff there. Good stuff there. It's funny how much of a challenge it could be to fill holes and collect in the comic book collection, right? It's almost like, where do you go? I find that, like, for me, like a lot of times I'll go to like a local con or a shop, and Bill, and like, let's say Bill and I will go together, right? And he will mainly be looking to he's always looking for bargains, and he'll go and he'll buy, like, let's say 30 issues, but it'll be all over the place. Like, he'll
Right.
buy, like, two defenders, and he'll get a champions, and he'll get a couple Spider-Men, a couple horror books, couple this, couple that, whatever.
Right.
And, like, I can't do that. Like, I have to go, like, I usually go, like, if I'll go to like a convention, I will have a specific list of what I'm looking to get. And I'm like, all right, well, I really want to focus on these five Avengers books I'm looking for, or
Right.
I want to fill these eight holes in my Marvel team up, collection, right? Because that's kind of like the next thing on my list. Because I have like, I only need like, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 12 issues to get the first like 80 issues of Marvel
Oh
team.
yeah.
So I'm like, I kind of want to do that, right? So I get like very focused. So I'll like, like when I'm like in a little buying spree, which I haven't been for a couple of months, I'll literally just get like you've probably seen here. I just buy like Avengers comics, or I'll get
Right.
very very specific things, and I won't stray from that too much because it's like to me, it's like if I'm gonna go out and buy stuff, it's like all right, well I know I need 8 issues of Black Panther to finish the set. I would rather wait and go kind of try and get as many as I can to fill those gaps rather than just get one and buy 5 things of something else and one thing of something else. It's just, it's weird because then I like to go and read stuff before I go and put them away and everything like that. And I don't know,
Absolutely.
that's just me. It's kind of weird like that. You look like you do the same thing. You're like specifically going for certain things.
I do now. But when I probably I would say when I started hitting like the cons, I was doing a little more of little of this, little of that, looking for the best bargains, that kind of thing, just whatever was cheap, whatever I liked that was cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as you go on, you get a little more focused. Well, I only need this many more to get to finish this run of whatever, Avengers or
Plus, the
any.
longer you're collecting, the more you have, and then all of a sudden, the ones you need are usually the ones that are more expensive, the ones that are harder to find, right? So
Exactly.
you
And
got
then you got to decide, okay, how far am I going to take this?
yeah.
How, how, how much can I spend?
How much can I spend? Yeah, I've had like the last
Shouldn't
couple
I?
cons I've been to. I was telling the guys this the last time we went to one. I said I always like to come home with at least one key or something that's pretty close to a key, and then whatever else I can afford, right? Because I
Right.
always feel like if I don't come home with something really meaningful, that it wasn't as successful.
It's kind of a wasted trip or
Kind of a wasted trip, yeah. I mean, it's fine. Okay, I came home with 10 $2 books, right? But are any of them like there was no challenge in that. So I always like to say, all right, well, I got this today. And the other ones are cool too, but at least I came home with this, even
what's
if it cost me
cool
like a
is if you can get something, for $2 and say at the time, okay, nobody's really paying much attention to it. But then a few years later,
boom, all of
all
a
of a
sudden, right?
sudden this one character is super hot. And now that book's like 10 times that or
Yeah.
100 times that, or whatever. And it's like, hey, I bought it when it was only $2. Cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Like
Oh,
you go out and you buy an issue like the first appearance of Wood God, right? You think now it's like nobody's interested in
who
that.
cares?
But 3 years later, he's like one of these characters they put in one of the movies, out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, now all of a sudden, through the roof of go. It's just like before they announced the Eternals book, the movie, right? I mean, you could get for years, you can get those Eternals comics for like next
Oh,
to
they were practically giving them away.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's like
Dollar bins. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And now they're probably back down in the dollar bins again.
Well, I don't know if they are. I mean, but yeah, that movie did not. I don't know. I mean, I didn't have a whole lot of high expectations for it. I wasn't really that invested in Eternals to begin
I
with.
mean, I liked it a lot. I thought, the movie to me was just a little, I enjoyed it, but it was just a little too different from the source material for me.
I mean, I
So,
love Kirby, but I don't know. I guess I just that era of Kirby, I just wasn't really into for whatever reason.
well, I mean, he was just
It's
putting out too
okay.
much stuff. Yeah, it was okay. I think for me, that era, I probably appreciated the Machine Man series the most out of all of them.
Yeah.
Even that wasn't spectacular, but I enjoyed that. But yeah, like the stuff he was doing with Cap, the Black Panther series.
I have the Cap issues, but it's kind of the collect them all kind of thing. I mean,
Yeah.
are they among my favorite Captain America issues? Those ones where he came back to do Captain America in the 70s? Yeah, they're not quite
Yeah, the artwork's good,
that
but
same
the story,
caliber.
he was just he was getting too cosmic with everything, and all the stories were just too hard to get into. And
Well, and he pretty much ignored everything every other writer had been doing on the character for the last decade.
as
So
well as
he's
the overall
left.
universe, right? He was
Yeah.
trying to do everything within this universe. It's
Right. And yeah, that's kind of okay if you're okay, you're doing your own characters. I mean, I can see kind of see with the Eternals, but yeah, with Captain America, I mean, there's this whole history, that he was ignoring.
yeah, yeah. And you could tell one of the things when you go back and reread a lot of those like mid late 70s books that he was working on, he seemed all those issues seem like it was one guy who was doing everything. There was no, like that was the one great thing about a lot of the stuff from the 60s and the early 70s. You felt the writer's presence in the issue. You felt the artist and the inker, right? It was a team atmosphere.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of those were just like, all right,
very
this
cohesive.
just seems like it was Kirby doing everything and nobody else had a say in it. He didn't give a shit what was going on with all the rest of the Marvel Comics roster. He's like, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to take these characters, I'm going to come up with these fantastic stories and all this. And it's just like, it either worked or it didn't, and in many cases it didn't really work. But like I said, I enjoyed Machine Man. 2001 was good for a little bit. Devil Dinosaur
Never got
was
into.
kind of
I
fun.
tried the two. I remember getting the 2001 at the time, and it just I didn't get it at the time. It
Yeah, I never
didn't.
kept them. I don't own any of them anymore.
Yeah,
Part of me kind of wants to go back and recheck those out. But the Black Panther series was just weird. You're
yeah.
taking this great character out of the jungle and bringing him to like different worlds, and it's just it was weird, just bizarre. It looked great, but sometimes there's a lot more to just great art, right?
Yeah, that's
Storyline's
true.
got to go along with it. So yeah,
I have something. Well, and for not to go too long here, but there's a lot of people that will claim that maybe Stan Lee gets too much credit, and okay, maybe he does in some cases, but some claim that maybe he didn't even write a lot of the stories that he did with Jack Kirby. But then you see what Kirby did without Stan Lee, and it's like, well, okay, they're missing something.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You look at those Fantastic Four and the early Thors and things like that, and it's
Yeah,
like, all right, there's some there's some really good stuff going on there. And I know a lot can happen in a decade, right? But yeah, who knows? And as most of those guys are gone or they will be gone, it's like a lot of those stories will be gone with them, unfortunately, of what went on behind the scenes. So,
true.
yeah. Oh well. So thanks to Scott for showing off some cool new stuff that he has picked up in his collection, and we hope to
Thank
do
you. My
this again
pleasure.
soon. Yeah, always good to have you on here, Scott. And I'm getting the hankering to buy some new stuff myself soon. So hopefully I'll be able to do one of these in the not too distant future. We'll see. I've got some stuff in my.
Hopefully, you have a little time to.
Well, that's the thing. I got to
I like
buy
a
them and
busy
you got to
man.
read them, right? It's like, so I still have a stack like this of stuff that I bought like months ago that I still haven't read and put away yet. So I've already done shows on them. I've showed them off. I don't really have anything else. I'm like, oh God. So it's just difficult to squeeze all our hobbies in some days, but whatever. So thanks
You
for
did it.
watching, everybody. Join us next time here on Comic Book Easer. Like I said, I think and hope that Bill and I will be getting together this weekend. So hopefully next week you'll see a couple of shows with the both of us. We'll see how that goes. And until next time, for Scott Berry, I am Pete Pardo. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. Please hit the like button. And there's also the link down below to the Sea of Tranquility merch page where you can get a Comic Book Easer shirt or coffee mug. So we do have those available. So thanks, everybody. For Scott, I am Pete. See you soon here on Comic Book Geezers. Take care.